Good afternoon and welcome. So this necklace started off as a single strand coral necklace with 4 gold filled balls, but then the owner changed her mind at the last minute and wants it to be a two strand. Now that shouldn't be a problem, should it? If you have a gold filled two strand clasp, which currently we don't have. And so we're going to actually make one out of wire. You may not be aware of the findings class that we run here at Crafties, but you should actually be able to save yourself once you have wire. Whether you want to make earrings or whether you want to make a clasp. For example, I want to show you this single strand clasp. This is made out of 18 gauge gold filled wire. You can see the loops and it looks very professional. I remember buying these ready-made some years ago only to find out later on that this is actually something that I can make. So this is one of the things we teach in the class. Now, to make a two-strand clasp, first things first, please do not go ahead and use the pricier gold-filled wire unless you're a professional. Yes, buy your gold-filled wire, keep it aside, buy less expensive wire and do some trial and error. So I want to show you how what looks like a hook and eye, which you sometimes find on clothes, can also work for jewelry. Look at this. To make this into a two-strand necklace is already made. One strand goes in there, another strand goes in there, and another here and another here. Now I want to show you a smaller version of it. Now, the reason why you have all these is trial and error. So the best thing to do is to get the size you want to use right. Use less pricey wire because gold filled wire is actually has gold on the outer, and that's why most people don't react to it, while the inner core is a solid brass usually. So this is not cheap because this is actually gold on the outer, but it lasts very many years once you keep it very well. So you get your um, less expensive wire. It should still be jewelry quality wires. And it's good for you to have your metal ruler, which you can use to measure. For example, a basic clasp, I know that if you have about 3 inches of metal, which sometimes you can just mark if you're actually cutting several things, you mark it, all right? So if it's 3 inches, we want there, and then just when you have that in place, you can actually just put a mark in it. Do I want to use the red? Okay, let me try that. Can I see it? Yes, I can see it. Now this is whiteboard marker, which of course I can clean off very easily. So I know that this 3 inch piece of wire, I know already that this would fetch me is a particular size, but you can try out yours. Buy the cheaper wire, buy the gold filled wire if you want something of that quality. But of course, there are much less expensive clasps available, but it depends on what the customer wants. This lady only wants, gold filled. And so, of course, you have your solid, high quality pliers handy because we're going to need pliers with this. We're actually going to need a chain nose, a flat nose, everything. All the 4 pliers should be handy so that one can use the appropriate one at any point in time. So I'm going to just use the side cutter. Okay, please bear in mind that you walk away from children. Don't let them hang around when you're cutting bits of wire. And for you yourself, if you're not so sure, just get yourself a pair of safety goggles. All right, so I've cut the 3 inch, and with my round nose pliers, I'm going to actually use this to form, I like to get the middle. Again, if you're not so sure, just get your ruler and take note of where the middle is so that you know where to start bending your wire from. So if you have 3 inches, oops, yes, that dropped. If you have 3 inches, then you know that at, 1.5. See, there's a joke I like to share with you. There are people who know how to make jewelry and they say, oh no, I don't like maths. Please, everything requires calculations. And if your wire is seriously bent, you'll also need your nylon jaw pliers. But you can see that in this case, we have approximately that. So we can actually just bend, okay? With the round nose pliers, I can bend. The round nose pliers won't mite. It won't give any, it won't give it any marks. and it won't already affect how it works. So if I have it in place like that, I have it approximately the same size. And if there's too wide a disparity, I can always just adjust it. But I can do, yes. So with that, I know that I would actually like this to be together. Now, for them to come together, I need a pair of pliers that can bring them together readily. That's where your flat nose pliers comes in. All right, so I can take my flat nose pliers and then try to put this together. Although the way I work now, I know that I would have used my hands first to bend them together, but you can use your flat nose and press and have them come together which the way you would like. Now, wire in this form is still something you can manipulate. If you want to make it stronger right away, there are actually things that you can do. All those things are taken care of in the class that we run. So now look at this. You can begin to see the relationship between this and the ones I showed you before. Can you see it? So now we're going to go with the round nose pliers now and take this and roll. Okay, just bend it that way. Can you see that? So you can see that it's beginning to look like this. And all I need to do is to roll that up, and roll that up. And then I should have my stand ready. When you're still learning, you could take your chain nose pliers and then do a right angle bend. You could do that. Okay, you could do that. But then you get to a stage where you may not need to do that anymore. So you bend that this way and that. You take your round nose pliers and look at the kind of loop, look at them. I mean, look at these pliers. Aren't they so lovely? You need fine pliers like this. You can also put a small mark if you decide on where it should be, or you just use your eyes to gauge it. Well, yes, you could also do that. So you grab it and then roll it towards you. Okay, roll it towards you. I hope I'm picking the right one. Yes, I am. Do you know how it is that many people who start making jewelry suddenly realize that their eyesight is not so good? Yeah, it's happened to us a lot here at Crafties. People come in and it's like they come for a class, you can't see the holes in the bead. Please get your eyes checked regularly, okay? I think I'm probably due for another eye check now, eye test. So, can you see that? So with this, you can actually now string with this, making sure that this touches. And one of the things we can also do is to use the wire, the anvil and hammer. Now, in doing that, please avoid, actually hammering where the wires overlap. It can easily dent and it can cause trouble. Now, do you know there are different techniques, actually different ways of using the hammer? There are actually different ways. And the better way of doing it is actually to tap very gently. Okay, you tap very gently. And in tapping gently, guess what it does? It actually makes it much stronger. So it's not as soft as it was before. And in this way, even when you have a slight opening, you can actually, this would help you to close it. And when you move them you can move them together some more, just to ensure that whatever it is, when you add your string in, it won't come apart. So you place this and bend it, okay? Make sure that it touches and touches very well. You can see there's something about the flattened wire. I actually just like it. I find it quite fascinating. So it's actually your wrist, it's your wrist that does the work. So it's not so much you're using a lot of force. So yes, at Crafties, ladies actually wield the hammer. We do, but in a different sort of way. Okay, so there we go. And we have to, let's see if we can make it look better, more uniform. Yes, okay. And then we can come back to this one and just press it in place. And guess what? Part of our two-strand clasp is ready. So if you'd like to learn how to make these clasps, your ear wires and things like that, please kindly come and register for our findings class if you want to learn this.